In No Child Left Behind, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus laid out a set of priorities, and they include that real incentives to implement research-based instructional programs and practices, including the use of a child's native language, to ensure that English language learners have access to the full curriculum in a manner they can understand. Appropriate inclusion of English language learners in the accountability system from the time they enter U.S. schools, rather than flexibility to exclude them until they learn enough English. Our CHC requests that this means that we need appropriate assessment tools that are designed to accurately measure the academic achievement of the English language learners. A large-scale national effort to improve high school graduation rates and real accountability for increasing them in the last portion of what the CHC requested was, last but not least, that requirements that all teachers be highly qualified to teach English language learners, whether they are bilingual or ESL teachers or content area teachers who have English language learners in their classrooms. In other words, we want all teachers to have the strategies and the tools to teach these English language learners. I am pleased to tell you that the draft No Child Left Behind legislation put forth by Chairman Miller and Congressman Buck McKeon moves us in the right direction on all of these issues. I and other members of the CHC look forward to working with Chairman Miller to make the bill even stronger. I realize that whatever we had thought could be done last, I'd say, June, July, August, in being able to address and debate No Child Left Behind has actually been unrealistic. Why? Because the assessment tools are not available to all the children who need to be tested for their limited English proficiency. There are many other components of No Child Left Behind that has become quite controversial. And unless we address them all, it seems that there will not be a compromise, and as best, and this is my personal opinion, not the committee that I serve on, it is my opinion that this may continue to be discussed in more hearings, and that we will deal with this sometime next year. I and other members of the caucus look forward to working with you after you have this meeting today, and that you share with us a report of what has been discussed, and hopefully copies of the presentations of each of our panelists, so that we can take that into consideration. But know this: many of us here in Congress consider education to be of utmost importance. And if we are to improve the quality of life of our children and grandchildren, of our families, we've got to continue to try and find solutions so that we can have a graduation rate from high schools of at least 90%. Why is it that China can have 97% graduation rate? Why is it that other countries who teach the art of learning in so many different languages can achieve such a high graduation rate? And we, the United States, the richest country in the world, have not been able to get a hold of that problem and solve it so that all of our children can master the art of learning, that they have the literacy, written and of course reading literacy, so that they can function at the best that they can. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that I'm preaching to the choir here. And there is no question that there's some things that need to be done as soon as possible. And I can tell you that under the leadership of Nancy Pelosi, as Speaker of the House, we have her commitment that both sides of the aisle will work together to try to implement the changes that are necessary so that all children are given the opportunities that we are looking for them. Just as we must continue to fulfill the promise of Brown versus Board of Education, we must put equal emphasis on rising to the challenge of Lau versus Nichols. The reauthorization of No Child Left Behind gives us that opportunity to move in that direction, and we must seize it. I want to thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts with you. Thank you.